Good afternoon. Today I wanted to go over some concepts of incidental learning. What incidental learning means, it's an evidence-based practice. It can be used a lot as part of applied behavioral analysis or the ABA system of working with children. It's also considered a naturalistic teaching technique because you're using things in the child's environment. You're also using toys and objects that the child likes to interact with. So evidence has shown that children are more willing to learn if the teaching is based on their interests and their preferences. So often what the teacher or the person who's trying to work with the child needs to do is cover their objective in a way that uses the student's unique interests. This technique works best for children between the ages of 2 years old and 9 years old. And it works well with students who have either autism or developmental delay. A child will often use a skill more if it's learned during play, rather than if it's learned in a clinic or a school. So I'm going to give some examples, and I also have a fact sheet that I can send as a PDF, and I'll also send a copy of this in the home packet. And so let's say, for example, we want to work on the skill of pointing, so that the child can indicate what they want if the child's not already doing this skill. So what you would do is place the object that they might want, a certain toy perhaps, put it on a shelf or in a place where it's out of the child's reach, but it is in view. And what you're going to do is, if the child begins to look at the object, you can try and prompt them. You can model pointing. You can model the language. You know, do they want that? Do you want that? And when they gesture in return, if they point, or if you can elicit any language, then you're going to give them that object. And that's the reward for pointing, is that they obtain the object that they were looking for. So what I'm going to do next is talk about some activities that I've made for home programs that use incidental learning and that use objects that a child might have interest in to work on new skills and new facts. So for instance, well, this is my finished basket. So as we do the activities, we're going to put them in the finished basket. And this is something to practice also at home. If you don't have a basket of this size, if you need a larger basket, you can use a laundry basket. And you're going to be teaching the child to work from the left side to the right side, because we read from the left to the right. We write and make our letters from left to right. And so when we set up a workstation for a child, we're going to have the work that they have not done on the left, and the work that's completed or finished, we're going to put in a basket to the right. So, for instance, I have a child who's working on the meaning of the word in. Many of our task boxes, you put objects into different containers. And these are good beginning skills for both manipulation and cognitive skills and interacting with different objects. So I have made a box and put a hole in it. Now that's pretty small for some of our children. Maybe that's too small. Maybe you need something that has a larger hole in it. Okay, so let's think about this one. I made this one for a child so that they could put balls in it. This child in particular loves balls, and they have balls of lots of different sizes. So if I was the parent and I was working on putting things in, that's the concept, I would have maybe 5 or 6 balls that are to the left. And the child would be sitting with me, and we'd say, let's put the ball in. And you can help the child, hand over hand, put the ball in, and then cheer. Yay, good job. Let's put the ball in. Yay, good job. So that is working on the concept of in. It's also working on the visual motor skill of being able to place objects accurately. And on the bottom of this, I kind of did one of those trifolds so that you can just pull things back out of it. And we're done. So when the child has done the 5 balls, maybe that you played with them, you say, okay, we're finished with that one. Let's put it in the finished basket and help them put it in the finished basket. So another activity, and I had made this activity for a child and I forgot to take pictures of it, so I have mocked something up. But let's say that we have a box and we're going to drive cars into the box, into a garage. And we have 4 cars of different colors. So what we're going to do is maybe take the blue car and say, let's drive the blue car in, vroom, 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 and let them park right here, okay? Let's do the pink car, drive the pink car in, vroom, 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 put on the brakes. Good job. Let's put the blue one in, vroom, 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 put on the brakes. And let's drive the red one in, vroom, 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 okay? That's a way a child is starting to learn concepts that they need for school. They're learning how to sort by color. They might be learning the name of the different colors. And often children really love it if we make mouth noises or make it more entertaining or fun. So it's very evidence-based. We know that children learn when they're enjoying things, when they have moments of enjoyment. Those are the points that really drive their learning. So what I have done, let's say we're going to make this activity a little more difficult. I've made some stickers. So let's say I'm going to put sticker number 5 and car number 5 and, you know, car number 3, garage number 3. You can put the stickers both on the back of the car and on the garage slot, so that now it's a way for the activity to kind of expand and become a new activity that's very familiar, that the child already knows and likes, and they can start learning new concepts with the same activity. You know, if the child, you know, learns their numbers, you know, a certain number of numbers, you can trade out your stickers and start doing alphabet letters. So that's kind of how we can expand an activity and make it last longer if a child really, really loves it. I'll move that out of the way. So this is my number box, okay, and this is to actually sit flat, but I wanted you to see the numbers inside of it. So it's a good way to work. And I made this one for a child who he likes rubber ducks. He also likes cars. And you could do this activity with either one. And so, you know, you can get the ducks in the morning after they've dried off and have 4 of them to your left. You're going to have the box here in the middle. And this is another task box. So we're going to say, okay, here, let's put 1 in, 1. Now let's put 2 in, 2. Now let's put 3 in, 3. Now let's put 4 in. Yay, good job. We have all 4 in. Let's put it in the finished basket. Okay, so you could do that as part of the task boxes that you're doing that day. The last activity that I have is this one, which I said before. It may not be for every child because it's a very small slot, but what I like about it is that I have a fistful of popsicle sticks, okay, and they're all different colors. So let's say, and children, you know, have a short attention span when they start doing task boxes. And part of our goal is to get them so that they will persist for longer periods of time. So it could be that you did the task boxes today and really just working with the garage colors and working with putting the balls in. Maybe that was all your child had attention for, and that's fine. You've done 2 activities, you put them in the finished box. That's a great start. If you want to, you could do another short session later in the day and pick 2 or 3 other task boxes and do a very short session again with 2 to 3 task boxes, working on those skills and the concepts. Okay, so let's say I'm a child and I'm not sure what to do with this. So what you can do is tell me the color, and we're going to help me put it in. So let's put in yellow, in. Let's put in orange, in. By adding a lot of inflection to your voice, a lot of variety and interest, that can also make it a very playful and positive experience for your child. So you want to try and kind of be happy and exuberant as much as you can. Let's put a blue one in. Let's put the red one in. Let's put a green one in. Yay, okay. And because that's a small opening, I might not need a lot of guidance from you to start with, but as time goes on, I learn what I'm supposed to be doing and what's expected, and I'll start putting it in myself. And that definitely, with something that small, is going to work on some visual motor skills and accuracy. So that's a really good activity. Let's see. So we talked about the types of concepts. We've talked about how to kind of change and adapt some of the activities. And we talked about the expectations. I wouldn't want to sit down with a child for the first time and expect them to do 5 different task boxes, because that would be probably very frustrating for your child. So what you want to do is gradually increase the number of task boxes that you do, and still probably keep it to a 15-minute maximum, because that is usually about the length of time in one of our special education classes that a child would be expected to sit and do task work. So if you have questions, please email me and please contact me, and I'd be happy to answer questions. If your child is finding one of the activities difficult, call me and let's talk about it, and we'll see if we can make it easier. And if your child can master all of these and they're doing all of them great, we certainly want to give them something more challenging so that they can continue to learn. So let me know what you think, and I appreciate it very much. Bye-bye.